there are days where I kind of question if I'm going insane or the world is, or I don't know if maybe I've just become sort of numb. Well, no, not numb. Numb would probably be preferable at this point. Like they say, apathy is death. I'm not gonna lie. If that's what death feels like, being dead sounds really nice right about now. Because God, I'm kind of sick of all the dumb shit happening in the world. But with all that's going on in the world, for some reason, I feel more compelled to talk about entertainment than anything on this because I find it kind of obnoxious how dumb this is. Mushoku Tensei, I'm not going to pretend that some people having mixed feelings on the subject or a negative opinion isn't at least understandable when it comes to protagonists. But at the same time, whenever I see the people bitch about this anime now, it's kind of infuriating, mainly because of how dishonest, obnoxious, and selective they are with their indignation. Also, it seems to be the same fag war enthusiasts every time. That's the other part of it's annoying. And the thing is, whenever I hear some of the complaints about Mushoku Tensei, mainly in regards to Rudius Grey Rat, because that seems to be the only thing they focus on when not saying things like, well, it's just terribly written, even though I've read it. It's actually not bad written. In fact, some people have argued that these morons probably haven't even read it. They're just blowing smoke out their ass. Like I can understand some of the points. Like at one point, someone brought the point like, okay, you didn't have a problem with the polygamist in Demon Hunter, but you really seem to focus on Rudius Grey Rat. And someone pointed out, like, yeah, that guy was an adult, but he also was someone of his age as an adult. He wasn't reborn, and he's not a 30-something in the body of a infant, or at least when he was born. I was like, okay. And also that Rudius in his past life was a pervert and or degenerate, whatever. Okay, that is a fair point.
What?
But at the same time, some of these fuckwits will also say things like, well, this guy didn't snuggle his wives, which Rudius didn't do that either, you lying jerk off. And between this and the review bombing, I have a hard time taking these people's complaints seriously because, again, these people all come out of the woodwork at once to pull their shenaniganery. Seriously, fuck these people when they do this. It's very obnoxious how they think we are that dumb that we don't notice. It's balderdash is what it is. But I will go back to this and say, yeah, they do have some points on that. I mean, granted, a lot of people who are dumb or a dumb thing can still have a point. It's like creativity or some shows. Like, yeah, a lot of the shows they've made, like the Halo one or the Wheel of Time one, they sounded like ass whenever I was hearing the story described. But there were at least occasionally a few nuggets of things in them that I could look and go like, you know what, that was an interesting concept, but you didn't really do enough to want me giving you any respect because you made crap. You tore down something else. Like, at least Kai and the pirate guy, I'm forgetting his name, at least there was an interesting idea behind them, but that was at least with Kai, you could go like, okay, she's actually having a normal response if we were to have them not be full-on like the Spartans from the games. But at the same time, just because you have a good point or idea does not mean you were fully correct. And again, I have to point how these people do this so regularly to a point that it feels just like I think they are bored or they really do not like the idea of someone being able to change or improve as a person, which, given the fact that I doubt these douchebags acknowledge the idea of redemption or changing, they just assume you're always a dirtbag no matter what, and they love to lord your past over you no matter what. I can't say I'm surprised, because while Rudius did go through most of his first life as somewhat of a scumbag and an asshole, when he was reborn, like, he died having nothing but regrets. Like, right before he was hit by the bus or he died trying to save someone, he wished he could start over and not be as pathetic as he is after he'd been kicked out of his home by his own siblings after their parents died. And he didn't go to their funeral. But once he comes into this new world, it's not like he's full on perverted right from the jump.
Hear me out.
Yes, a lot of those memories and proclivities are still there, but he seems to keep himself in check. Hell, Oldius, the older version of him who comes back in time to meet him, he is way worse. Much worse. But unfortunately, he also is someone who is so powerful and gifted with magic in that timeline that people have to just tolerate his existence because he's at least useful. Which, by the way, that timeline is probably the worst the worst of possible worlds. I should probably stress that as well. Rudius, like, okay, one of the funner things you learn about him, and then later on his son Ars, is when Rudius was reborn to this world, even though he still had the libido or mind of an adult, whenever he was around Zenith, who is an attractive woman, he was at least able to. He didn't really feel a proclivity to do that because, yeah, no, that's my mom. No, that would be a fucked up idea to have. Ars, when he was a kid, if he didn't matter who, if he was near an Opie, he was happy. Didn't matter if it was mom, his sister, or someone who he wasn't related to. Then again, considering what went down with Ars Grey Rat later on in life, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Seriously, anyone who says Rudius is bad, no. In that world, and especially among the Grey Rats, he is the toned down one, as weird as that probably sounds. Like, Rudius at least makes an effort not to be as bad of a person as he could be. He at least tries to better himself. Like, not even in a redemption way. It's more like he just tries not to be as much of a fuck up in this life as he was in the first one. And it's not even like this was a reward for him trying to save someone from Bus-kun or Truck-kun. This is because I think it's never even known for sure how he got to that world, even by Hitogami. Maybe. Possibly. You can look more into that for yourself. I really don't care. So, Rudius, I'm not going to pretend he's some saint, but at the same time, I'm not going to pretend he's a monster who should be thrown into a wood chipper feet first, because even in his first life when he was a scumbag, as far as he didn't really do anything to another person. That was the worst he did was take some pictures of his niece without his brother knowing, or he had a copy of them and kept them to himself. Which, unfortunately, his brother was probably more willing to give him a chance than some of the others were. But anyway. And when he got to this next life, after all he goes through, he still tries to not be a terrible person, and when he fucks up, it eats away at him. And he tries to make it right. Hell, there's sometimes he tries to make amends with people, like Atofe, and it didn't go well. But then again, Atofe is I think that's her name, is the embodiment of the phrase, you can't fix stupid. Seriously, now I know where Alexander gets it. Or Camlin the Third, or whatever the fuck you want to call him. But anyway, I'm getting off track. This seems to be a recurring thing with these morons that I kind of find annoying simply because they are not... These are tourists. These are normies. These are FOMOs. These are people who do not give a shit about anime. If it wasn't for the beer bug, a lot of them probably wouldn't be watching it now. They wouldn't be coming in like the Columbus wannabes they are, trying to stir shit and lie. To a point that when you saw the episode of his daughter being born and him holding her, some of these same fuckheads said he was going to do unsavory things to his own child. No proof he's going to, just fuck it. It's like not much difference from people who make shit up about Kirsha or the melon felon Carmelo Anthony. So they will just blow smoke out their ass. To a point, I just think these people are evil scumbags. And quite honestly, they do nothing to dissuade me from thinking that ever. They've proven it time and time again with their actions. To a point that now you had... Kotaku, I believe it was. Yeah, Kotaku came out of the woodworks, putting out an article saying, please stop recommending Mushoku Tensei. It's awful, and the author is a pervert, and proving once again they're full of new and exciting shades of shit, and only the lowest of the low make a living in game journalism. But then again, these are the same people who couldn't cut it as actual journalists. I'm guessing. So they had to settle for becoming, being some they saw as a lesser, because these people have no respect for the medium of video games. In fact, they quite honestly look down on gamers. They do nothing to really convince me otherwise. And they just branch out when the gaming no longer can do it. And these are the same fuckwits, by the way, who I 9 times out of 10 will see complain about gatekeeping, which, yeah, no, I'm fine with gatekeeping at this point, because they do nothing to prove that it's bad. They only hate when other people do it. And if you don't believe me, look at the state of most entertainment now, where they are trying to gatekeep fandoms and say, yeah, you can't come in here. They'll be like, oh no, we want in here. We want this sandbox. You can't. And they say, you're not allowed in this sandbox anymore. And how dare you try to make your own sandbox, and how dare you do well at it? Anyone who doesn't believe me on that, look at, I don't know, the indie scene, with how they've reacted to, I mean, Young Rippa, Eric July, they were butthurt about him just making comics. Whether or not they were anti-woke or not is irrelevant. The fact that they had that reaction kind of said a lot. Same with Uwe Boll's Vigilante film, Citizen Vigilante or whatever. So, I just think this is stupid, and the fact that Kotaku did this has me going, oh, I hope he sues the fuck out of them. I hope this author finds some way to sue them. I don't know if it would really result in anything. Kotaku would probably just try to pay it off, or they'll go through it because they're like, yeah, we'll survive. We're like cockroaches or DSP. We could survive a nuke being dropped on us. But yeah, I really am kind of sick of this just assault of this community of anime enjoyers being besieged by ship after ship of a bunch of Columbus wannabe jerk-offs who come in and say, like, no, this is ours now. You can't, it's not yours, it's ours. We get to decide what goes. Like, no, you don't. Fuck you. You do not get to dictate this because you just showed up one day and you realized how popular it is. Now, fuck you. The only reason why you give a shit is because it's popular. Otherwise, you would still be making fun of it like you always have. These are exactly the same kind of people who, if they saw you playing a game in high school, they'd be like, oh, look at this fucking nerd. Oh, look at this lesbo bitch playing video games. That's these people. To a T. To a fucking T. Time and time a fucking again. They never change unless it's convenient. And now I sound like that Delphine bitch from Skyrim. God. But yeah, no, these people are full of shit. And they do this with such regularity, it's hard not to notice they do it. And I kind of have to say, like, yeah, no, we know you're doing this. We see you doing it. And you think we're too dumb to see it. Like, we know that you lie. You know that we know you lie. We know that you know that we know you lie. And still you fucking lie. And it's pretty pathetic that you're that much of a lazy fucking liar. And whenever they get pushback, it's always the same. And I say, nah, push back even fucking harder. Because this was a means of entertainment we enjoy. And since you've already ruined video games, you ran out of Marvel shit to make. So I'm assuming at some point Disney's going to be coming for both video games more and anime. I say no, resist and bite. Every step of the fucking way. These fuckers do not like the idea of nuance. They do not like the idea that someone can be both demonic and angelic, positive and negative. That is what I think this boils down to with Mushoku Tensei is the idea of a world where someone has both a negative and like a scumbag and a good person. Hey, case in point, Paul Greyrat. They act like he's just an awful person in general, saying like he never loved Z. Like, no, he loved his wife. If he didn't, he wouldn't be going through the leaps he's gone through to look for her. He wouldn't be trying to find Rudius in them. He wouldn't have given a shit about Norn. He would have just dumped her off in an orphanage. No, you people are liars. Like, and Paul is a scumbag. He's a jackass. I will not even vaguely pretend to defend him. I have a very low opinion of that jack-off, because this fuckhead broke Elena Lacey made him promise not to sleep with her, or sleep around with someone he cared about. He knocked her up, took most of the party's money, and then left them high and dry. Took a job with that he got through his cousin, who he went for help, which in turn left Ghislaine, for one, very desperate, to where she was starving a lot of the time until the Boreas family hired her as a bodyguard. There are lots of reasons not to like him. Hell, Elena Lisa, even though she doesn't like him and is mad at him, she acknowledged that she is partially to blame for it. But yeah, no. There are lots of reasons not to like Paul Gret. He is an asshole. Hell, how he treated Rudius when he first came back from the Demon Continent was enough to make me want to bitch slap him. And the fact that some people like to act like Rudius is the main party at fault is kind of sickening. Oh, then the fact that he accused his son of abusing his abilities. He didn't even talk to him. He just assumed he was guilty of it right away. And just was willing to side with a neighbor lady who, by the way, also had a thing for Paul. I'm pretty sure she just used that as an excuse to talk to him. Yeah, no, Paul, fuck you for that. Slapping your own kid, and you didn't even bother to hear his side of the story. And when he tried to tell him, he's like, don't make excuses. And then after that, Rudius kind of just gave him the third degree. He was like, you know what, you're right. Next time I see 3 boys picking on someone who's not even going to fight back, I should join in, make it a 5-some, 4-on-1. Show people the true integrity of the Grey Rat name. Yeah, that was an amusing bit to see, to say the least. Seriously, Paul, fuck you for that moment. But yeah, despite that, Paul is not a terrible person. He's not a devil. He's not a horrible person. He's just flawed. He is a jackass, which is a little funny, because I'm pretty sure I've seen these same fuckheads somewhat defend flawed characters when it's just, no, a horrible person in a Marvel film. So no, these people are full of shit. Seriously, go through what most of these fuckers will say, and look at the comments you will see these types say about Marvel films and then anime, and tell me you don't see a double standard. Seriously, the gender double standard that men deal with is probably just as insufferably annoying, if not worse. But yeah, no, there's a clear double standard that they try to pretend does not exist, and it's very pathetic. And Kotaku, I hope you get the fuck suit out of you.
They can go fuck themselves. I hope every one of these people gets fired. I hope they all never find a job again. I hope they die in a fucking gutter.
Because you have long overstayed your welcome. Kind of like Bethesda. And much like Bethesda and Todd Howard, the day you go out of business and are no longer around to be the cancer that you are, the world becomes a little bit more livable. And as for all these fuckheads complaining about Rudius, you're full of shit. Some of you are liars. Some of you, while having good arguments, are very disingenuous. And honestly, it's pretty clear you have an axe to grind with Rudius. No matter what he does, you are always going to hold that against him. So, since you love to hold his past against him, I say hold the past against you. As well as your future, considering some of you fucks get out of his closeted sex pests later on. That are psychos, or sociopaths. You don't believe in right and wrong, if I'm being perfectly honest. You're basically a bunch of movie bobs. Oh god, clones of movie bob. Now there's nightmare fuel. And I think that's where I'm going to end the video. Yeah, seriously, no, fuck these people. They're beyond annoying. That's all I can really say on this, is fuck them. Rudius is flawed, but at the very least, I can find myself sympathizing with him, what he goes through in this new fantasy world. And I just always find myself rooting for him and cheering for him, like, dude, come on, get up and fight more. Don't fall into a pit of despair. So yeah, no, Rudius is okay in my book. He hasn't done anything yet to show that he's a horrible person, or at least not the horrible person that these people like to claim he is, and they're garbage. They're non-binary trash. Yeah, I think I'll end it there. Have a nice day, and Yamao hid. Also, Hitagami's a bitch.
They called me crazy. They called me insane. They called me loony. And boy, were they right.